Do 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 do. I guess we're live. I accidentally clicked the button too early. I clicked it, but oh well. It'll give time to get things going, I suppose. See if it pops up. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Let me mute that. Happy Monday, the start of the week. Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, sister in Christ, how are you doing tonight? Got Lori's World in here. Nate, Shift Kicker. We got cashews in here. Yeah, I'm not too sure how many people is going to show up tonight or anything, but I figured get this thing going. Hey, Sandra Moody, uh, Lisa's in here. Hope you guys are doing good tonight. It's a cold one. It's I don't. It's not really cold, but it's one of those. It just feels cold. Your bones are cold type of colds. I was out earlier today. Um, Went and checked my post office box. Some company sent me a ceiling fan to review. And I'm like, I didn't even ask for this. I'm like, my channel is not a review place for all kinds of household items. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just do a review on their their Amazon page or something like that. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, we had some snow. Not that much, but here in Ohio, northern part had a lot more than we did. Nate's sitting over there with 55 degrees right now. Yeah, hoping we get a couple more days of nice weather because I want to go out and make a few things. I want to make a bigger cage for the rabbits. That way I can separate them because we do have a boy and a girl rabbit, even though the guy swore up and down that the white one was a boy. So, yeah, we've already had a litter, but they didn't make it because didn't have nowhere to separate them to and all that stuff. I tried to separate them a little bit, but still didn't work. Yeah, the bot still hasn't. Oh, never mind. There's the bot. See
Hey
how
look,
that
it's
thing's
Shift Kicker,
going
the
crazy
one and
already.
only robot that will kick your butt.
Oh, there's the hugs. Um, there you go. To play this game, you just type explanation game, and then what number you want to put your X in, or your O. I don't know which one it is, but you guys are playing against the AI. I don't know how it works or anything, so I figure I'd give it a try. You, it's explanation game, and then the number where you want to put your move. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you want to put it in the one, which is the one up at the top there, there you go. Well, I don't know how it's going to work, so I figure and test it out here while we're waiting for everybody to come in. Uh-oh. Oh, AI took it. Don't tell me the AI is going to beat you guys. I sure hope you guys pick 6. I see bears in here. We got lake in here. Lori's World. Uh, Lori's World. I hope you got your YouTube working again. I've had that same issue, but I've had it remove memberships from, like, I'll sign up for somebody to get a membership and it removes it. Yeah, I think you have to do it like Life with Bobby's doing it. I think there has to be a space there. Hey, Vineyard Chicks, how's it going? And oh yeah, look what I got today. I don't know if you can see. It's a green tree, so you won't be able to see that. Oh, there you go. See the autographs? You got my light in there. I got my autograph CD. Oh, yeah, I do believe it's the beta thing because uh, like I see stuff that other people don't see, and I'm saying, "Oh, this is cool. You got this," and nobody sees anything that I see. Like a couple weeks to a month before everybody else does, and sometimes it is buggy, um, especially when I'm posting a video or something. Like the checks will take forever and things like that. Yes, Shift Kicker posted a link in uh, this is Tin's backup channel, and you guys can imagine what happened. So can't really talk about it, but just say this is Tin's backup channel. So if you could go over there and give Tin another sub over there, that would be great. Oh, you're welcome. You never know. You might have to start practicing that, because them famous people do thousands of those a day. So you never know. And I actually I have a friend that's on YouTube, but she didn't start in YouTube. She was actually on I think it's American Idol, but they said she wasn't good enough. One of them kind of gave her a hug, and she they they basically she didn't make the show, and they said she wouldn't be good enough. Right now, she has songs in the top 10. She has she's a single mom. She has a little boy, and uh, she she did a collab with somebody, and her voice boomed, and she skyrocketed after that. And that's all it takes. It just takes one little thing, and then you blow up. Okay, we'll let you guys finish this game here, and then I'll go ahead and start with our fun stuff, I guess. Hey, Trust, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, Ruben in here too. Ed, how's it going? Okay. Well, oh, you guys might actually lose this one. Oh, I was waiting for chat to respond. So, hey, Bluegrass, how's it going? Hey, Echo. Oh, okay, there it went. Nobody won. Let me go ahead and move this. Okay, so what I wanted to get started on for this is some of the problems that preppers come across and how preppers get started and things like that. I even made me a list so I'd kind of keep on track of everything. um, we'll go ahead and start with the first one here, and you guys can chime in anytime you want. Uh, some issues that you come across while you're prepping or thinking about prepping and stuff like that. One is lack of desire, and that can pretty much shut a prepper down. Um, Sometimes it gets too overwhelming, and you think you have to do so much. And I find if you you categorize stuff to where it's a little bit easier. Um, say say the first week of the month, you concentrate on just working on your water supply, be it buying some water or buying some jugs to store water in, or things like that. And then the next month, you can concentrate on um, getting rice and storing it properly and things like that. And then take a break and just learn about prepping, like the knowledge part, which we'll talk more about that here shortly. Um, yeah, the whole, and that's a good way to get motivated into getting out of that rut. Um, and it is easier than trying to just like jump into it and trying to do all of it at the same time. Just do little baby steps. I know right now it seems like we need to hurry up and get stuff done, but um, if it's going to make it to where you're not going to want to do it, then it's not that good. um, the next one is knowledge. This is one major problem that a lot of preppers come across. Um, you're you go into it like boom, I want to start prepping, and then you don't know where to start. You can go on the internet and there's hundreds of different websites and there's YouTube channels, and sometimes the YouTube channels uh, make it seem overwhelming, and that kind of goes into some of the other problems. But the best way is, again, baby steps. Start learning one thing at a time. Just like how to prep water. Learn that first, or learn how to store rice. Different things like that. Um, you can go to the library. It doesn't have to cost you anything. Go to the library and pick up books about um, prepping, how to store food and how to preserve food and things like that. And there's Goodwills, stores, and stuff that you can pick up books. I've picked up a lot of books just um, going to the thrift store and Goodwill, and I've learned a lot just out of these books. And I've also learned to put my own spin on stuff that I've learned, um, things like that. Um, our next one would be, yeah. And I heard, I did see somebody uh, in here. I wasn't sure who said it, but lack of space. Uh, because I mean, if you come down and think about it, how much space would you need just to store water for a family for four for a whole year? Stop and think about it, because the very least that you need is a gallon of water per person a day. So you multiply that gallon per person a day for a week, and that's 7 gallons. You multiply that by a month, and then so on, so on, and that's a lot of water. And how do you store that all in your house? Well, that's the whole purpose of the space thing. And there's places like, a lot of times under your bed. I store cans of food under my bed. The cats hate it because they can't go under there and hide. But there are um, under coffee tables, end tables, and stuff like that. And you can put I don't know what they call it, dollies or whatever, the little scarf things that they put on tables and stuff. It can got a tablecloth or something underneath the kitchen table. Um, uh, you have to be creative when thinking of where to store stuff. I've actually in the basement, I've got preps, and I've got an actual uh, door that I've put on top of them that I use for another storage, but there's preps underneath holding the door up, so it's actual extra space. Um, and somebody said in the attic. In the attic's good because it stays warm all year. Except you want to make sure if you store anything in the attic that it's not uh, something that's stored in plastic or anything like that, because if it gets too hot, plastic will leak. Um, Basements, if you have basements are perfect. Um, Basements is one of the best places to store stuff. Um, some people don't have basements because of where they live. Um, Inside walls, I guess, yeah. Um, I've got like an understair, because I have an upstairs and I have a basement, and underneath the basement, you can see the stairs. And you can put shelves along the stairs as you're going down, depending on the person, because like if somebody like Bigfoot would have to squash way down to go downstairs, but there's also on the side of the stairs when you're going down. Yeah, no basements in Florida. Yeah, attic in um, Arizona would really be too hot. And let's see, the next one is, which right now is a good point. Money, not enough money. And a lot of times people will think we have to hurry up and get all this stuff to start prepping. I'm like myself. I'm disabled. I'm on a budget. I only get so much money a month from Social Security. So it's not like I can go out and spend hundreds of dollars for preps each month. So what I do is I try to concentrate on the month for food for that month, and then I check out ads, coupons. Um, if you pay attention, like Dollar General, um, sometimes you can get good stuff in there, sometimes you can't. But they do coupons that you can do on your phone, an app. So when you go in there, you get like $5 off when you spend $20. So if you're follow the ads and you see all the stuff that they can have, uh, that would run you $20. Say you go in there and buy $10 worth of beans or $10 worth of rice or whatever, then when that you go to the checkout, you save $5, and then you can go buy another $5 worth of something else. And that's how you go about with the money situation. And you don't try to get bankrupt to prep, because if you run out of money at the end of the month and you can't afford something, it's counterproductive, and you won't prep anymore because you think, oh, I can't do it because I don't have the money. And that's where one of the major problems are, especially now. Um, when you go to the store and butter is like $5-6 for a pound of butter. Milk is over $3 a gallon. Um, I can go on and on. Uh, Last time I went to the store, we had no eggs at all. Um, and that's where prepping comes in handy, because the fact that you kind of prepare for that kind of stuff. So there's no eggs at the store, and I can't have chickens in my backyard, so I go for powdered eggs. And powdered eggs means I can have them whenever I want to, as long as I have water. And yeah, that's pretty much when doing this, you don't want to get overwhelmed with it, because once that, which I'll be talking about that here shortly, negativity leaks on into your prepping, the less you'll end up doing with it. Yeah, there's a good one. If you're allowed to. Unfortunately, there are, like where I'm at, you're not allowed to, which that might be changing here shortly, hopefully. Um, Yeah, you're not allowed to save rainwater. I accidentally save it. But let's go move on to the next one. And all these kind of tie into each other in a sort of way. The next one would be no time. Yeah, you work 40, 50 hours a week. By the time you get home, you don't have time for prepping. And sometimes it is really hard that you have to think of these things. You have to kind of take a break from doing one thing and kind of meld in some prepping, be it, I don't know, instead of sitting down watching an hour of a TV show, um, you and the family go into the kitchen and everybody cans beans or puts rice in Mylar bags and sit there, have a conversation with each other, and how's your day and all this stuff, instead of everybody sitting in front of a TV or one of these things, not talking to each other. Instead of having that family time in front of the TV, you're having it in front of your counter, talking about prepping and how things going. Um, and a lot of times, um, I remember back when dinner time, you would actually sit at the table and talk with your family and have conversations. Majority of families nowadays, when it's time to eat, everybody goes into the living room and sits in front of the TV and watches TV. Your family sitting right next to you, and you don't have a conversation with them. You don't get to know how their day went or things like that. And I think that's a shame. And our next one is uh, prepping exhaustion. And like I said, all these kind of tie into each other. Um, so it's like a domino effect. If you put too much into one thing, um, like some people at work, sometimes they do the same thing so many times that they just can't stand their job anymore, and they want to get a new job or something like that. It's the same thing with uh, prepping. It's you gotta have a balance. There has to be a balance in it. Yeah, that's good. You don't see that much anymore. I mean, even you watch the shows on TV now, and you hardly see anybody eating at a table. It's eating there or eating over here, or they take their food into their room, or something like that. And um, that's why I said, even in the stores, it's that way, or even on the shows, it's that way. It's like they're advertising to do that. Hey, CJ, good to see you. And it's a shame. Okay, and like I said, it's you prepping needs to be, instead of like a full blown go and try to do it all in a week or a month or something like it. It has to be in stages. You have to do it little by little. Um, and that's how you learn to do it too. You got to basically do it in stages. That way, you don't get overwhelmed. You don't get tired of it, um, because once you get tired of it, then you start slacking on it, and then pretty soon you go down there and check your preps, and they're like 2 years past the due date, and like, oops, I kind of slacked off on this, didn't I? Um, Once you get a nice system going to where it flows really nice, um, like tonight, I went down and wasn't sure what I was going to have for dinner, so I said, "Well, I'm just going to do a prep meal. I'm going to go down and get stuff for prepping, um, and put it together in a meal. That way, I can use up some of my stuff that is outdated or close to outdated, and uh, create a meal from it." And that's what I did. I just got a can of chicken, some pasta, um, cream of mushroom soup, and um, mixed vegetables, and I plopped them all together and came up with a meal. And that way, while I was down there, I got to check how the dates of my stuff were, uh, how much stuff is close to expiring, or how much stuff was, um, how much of the stuff I have. And I found out, well, I need to pick up some corn because I'm a case or two low on corn or something like that. And I killed two birds at one stone, and with one stone, and came up with that. The next one is uh, attitude. Yep. And sometimes we prep for certain things, and you've got all this time and money and effort in it, and that that little thing in the back of your mind, that the negativity, and saying, "Oh, this is a waste of time. This is this and that," and pretty soon uh, you'll start getting tired of it, and um, you need to stay positive with it. You're you're doing this for a reason. Just like if um, you got a jack, you got a tire in your car, you have that in there for a reason. You change your oil on your vehicle. You do it for a reason because you're preparing. You're keeping up with stuff, keeping it running, and keeping it going. Because once you slack off on any of that stuff, then that's when the wheels break down, basically, and it gets hard to get it going back again. And that's where we need to keep positive with it. You're doing it for a reason. Like for me, if uh, something happens, um, I'll have food and water and first aid and all that stuff, that the things that we do for my family. That's the main purpose. I'm doing that's the my reason for doing it. Um, Even if I have family members that think, "Oh, you're silly. That's not going to happen. We don't need to do that." And I now this for family. I'm not saying for the neighbors or anything, because if something happens and then all of a sudden they don't have any food, then they know where to come, because the crazy person was prepping. Okay, let's see. What was our next one here? Uh yeah, and this is the one, uh sometimes it does get you. Um it can't happen to me. The disbelief. Um, yeah, as preppers, we start prepping and do all this stuff, and down the road we might these things might leak into our thoughts that why am I doing this? This never going to happen to me. Um, and that's what they say. Famous last words. Um, look at things that's happened in the last few years. Uh, their stores running out of food. Food banks are are running dry. Um, Texas had one of the biggest freezes they've ever had. People were bringing their barbecue grills inside to heat their house and to cook, which never do that because a lot of people died doing that. They actually uh, died from carbon dioxide, and it's because they were not prepared. Some in there's another one that we'll be going over. A lot of times say, well, this won't happen. If it does, um, FEMA will help us. The government will help us. How long did it take those people to get help that were freezing in Texas when that stuff happened? Some got help right away, but some it took them days, and that days can be too long. Same thing with you go down to Katrina, you go down to all these hurricanes and stuff, tornadoes, earthquakes, and we're just talking natural disaster type stuff. That doesn't count for anything else that may happen down the line. Um, like I told a story on one-on-ones last night that I got an email from um, a lady that her and her son went shopping, and it was a Walmart, and they went in. She noticed that two guys were following her in to the Walmart when she was coming in, and she thought, well, at first she thought they were security, but they didn't seem like they were security because why are they following her in there when she's just going in? And she noticed they kept following around. They had little earpieces with a little mic in them, and they kept following her around. And sometimes they would split up. And by the time she got her stuff, she went in line. And instead of going to a self checkout, she decided to go to a line that had a regular human cashier. And one really smart thing she did was she got on the phone with her mother, FaceTime, and showed her camera, and she pointed at the guy behind her because one of the guys was behind her, and says, "I think this guy is following me around. He's very suspicious and this and that." And her mom went and took a picture, and that's brilliant. That's what you think of that stuff. And by the time she got up to the register, he had took off. She didn't see the other guy anymore, and she asked the cashier if she could have somebody walk her out, and they said yes, and they walked her out, and they were waiting for her in the parking lot. And she said, "These are the two guys that keep following me around in the store. Um, can you call 911?" And as soon as they said that, they were gone. She stayed there and waited for them to show up to the police, which is good because there's a record of it. And that's the thing that, oh, it won't happen to me type thing. I'm not saying that you have to be fearful of all this stuff, but you have to not be naive thinking it won't happen, because when you start thinking that, then that's when, unfortunately, that stuff does happen. What is the next one here? Yeah, uh avoiding responsibility. And sometimes um everybody is guilty of this. Yeah, and that, like you said, that's unfortunately, that is one of the major places right now is Walmart that this happens. I don't know if they have bad security, or it's just place that everybody goes, or it's just opportunity or anything, but you always have to be mindful when you're out. Always have to be mindful of that stuff, because you know, uh, like I said, avoiding responsibilities. It's sometimes instead of thinking, well, this week I had planned for to go to the store and pick up 10 pounds of rice and stick it in the freezer and get it in Mylar bags and blah 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 blah. And then you kind of say, well, I'll do it next week, or and then next week comes and you have something else that you had to do, and then you end up getting overwhelmed again. And that's where you have to set like plans of what to do. Like I said, 1 week of the month you work on just getting water. It might be just buying 10 gallons and having it stored away, or buy a case of bottle of water, something like that. And that way you don't get overwhelmed. You have a strategy in place. Uh, what was the next one? Uh, Perfectionist. A lot of times, if you and your family are doing this together and you have a perfectionist that is making prepping not enjoyable. And I'm not saying prepping has to be enjoyable. Some people enjoy it. It's almost like a game, or something like that. It's which is good, because it's something you enjoy, you keep doing. But like if you have a professionist, well, I can't even talk. Somebody has to have things done in a perfect way or anything like that. Sometimes it's it is less enjoyable for others to go at that, uh, whatever it may be. Say um, you're storing rice, and you're everybody's at the counter putting their rice in, and you have a perfectionist that has to have it done just perfectly. You have to have the same amount in every bag, and it's not that enjoyable. So pretty soon your family members are not helping you out with this. um, Ways to get around that. It's kind of hard for somebody like that to stop being the perfectionist, and maybe talk to them and explain to kind of mellow out and try to enjoy of the process of what you're doing instead of putting too much in it and stuff. Uh, what is monkfish? It's I've heard of monkfish, but I can't remember what. So some kind of fish, I guess. Somebody might know in chat. Let's see. What was the? Oh, that's it. That was that's the whole 10 thing. So if you guys have any questions or anything, this is a question part of it. Just type in question and then whatever your question is, and I'll try to see it. And I'll go ahead and go from there. Like I said, these are just normal problems that arise from a lot of preppers nowadays, and I think these are some things that you can kind of go over to make it not so stressful, because the less stress in somebody's life nowadays is so much better. We cut one stressful thing out of our life. It's so much better. I can go ahead and put the game up here for a few minutes until somebody. How to use Mylar bags? Can you put ingredients in them from original package? You mean like you can put anything in them, but some of this you like dry ingredients, that would be something you would want to put like butter and stuff in it or anything like that. You would want to put like if you could create little meals, like if you dehydrated vegetables, you can put in there some dehydrated meat and then the seasonings. That way, when you poured hot water in it and let it set, it's your own little Marlar MRE type meals. You could do something like that, which is not a bad idea, especially because if you go to buy those, like at Walmart, they got those those instant meals that are supposed to last for 10 years or whatever. Those things are very bad for you. Even MREs are bad for you because they're meant to stay preserved for so long. Look at Carol Z's question. I'm looking. Oh, I see a security question. Well, that has to be your who would you trust and know this. Yeah, that's like if you're good with your neighbors and you really trust them and stuff like that, you could probably talk to them about it. But even some family members, I have some family members that I wouldn't tell them that I prep or what food I have and stuff like that. just like you guys, I don't. I may show you some stuff that I buy at the store or something like that, or I'll put this back, or I'll say I have that, but nobody knows what I have. I don't go down there and say, "Oh, look at all this stuff I have here," and things like that. It depends on the water bottle. Um, yeah, and it depends how you store it. It has to be a cool, dark place to store longer. Um, but technically, water doesn't go bad. It can go stale. The reason why it goes bad is because of humans. They don't bottle it right, or they don't sterilize the bottles or things like that. Normally, the bottles of water that you get at the store, um, I would say, oh wow, chat actually won. I would say 2 to 3 years if it's stored properly. Like you never store plastic on concrete cement because the chemicals in it will eat through the plastic. You want to make sure it stays at a nice 50, 60 degree temperature, seven, not, I wouldn't say anything over 60, 65, because then it starts to break down the plastic. It has to be in dark. So, like I said, basements are really good for that. Um, Now, if you store it in a different container, something really good like hard, really hard food plastic, food grade plastic, then you can, even if it's contaminated, you can still decontaminate it by um, bleach, water tablets, purified tablets, or whatever, and boil them. But one of the, can you store water in 5 gallon water cooler? Not for very long because it's not airtight, and it would have to be sterilized. Other than that, that like how I do my water, I'll go in because I don't like city water. I won't drink it, so um, I'll get the 5 gallon, the office bottles that you go to the water cooler and get water from. I get those, and I have this thing that I pops on the top of it that is rechargeable, that will, you can fill up your water jug or whatever. As soon as that's empty, I fill it. I sterilize it by dumping hot water in there, boiling hot water, and swish it around and clean it, and then I air dry it by hanging it upside down, and then I'll fill it up with water, regular city water, and then I get replacement caps that go over top of them that seal them, and then I store them downstairs in the basement on skids, small pallet skids. That way, they're not touching the the concrete, and that's the cheap way to do it. Because if you go to the store to buy a 5 gallon jug, a water jug, or a gas can, or whatever, it's going to run you at least $30, $40 for a gallon jug. When you can get the thing from Walmart, they're $16, or no, they're $13, and you keep the jug. You drink the water, you keep the jug. And then eventually I have enough down there to last a good while. And then because I'm still keep drinking water, then when you take the jug back, you get $6 off your next one. So you're only paying like $6 for water for 5 gallons. Okay, let's see. Any more questions here? um, Pretty much, Chrissy Cat. You just type game and the place where you think it would go. Like right now, they want to put it in 9, so they should be saying game space 9. So the more people that say 9 in chat, it'll go in that spot. And it starts by up here at number 1, which is an O, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the last one. And it's just tic-tac-toe. But let me see here. I want to send everybody over here in a couple minutes. Vineyard Chicks are probably getting ready right now. And the Vineyard Chicks are doing a giveaway and live music and the whole shebang. I want to send everybody over there. And hope you enjoyed this. I wasn't quite sure. I was going to do a video on it, but I figured if I get through enough of the 10 things and could have a little chat afterwards and stuff. Distilled water, I think, is important to have some because for medical and like making soap, you need distilled water, and you should have distilled water, something that's really sterilized and whatnot. But yeah, I think everybody should have some distilled water or some sort of purified water. And if you can, like vegetables and meat and whatever, a lot of times what we do is we'll fill a jar up with water, just for space. Instead of doing that, go ahead and put a lid on it, like if it had something in it, and sterilize that jar with that water in it. And that's good purified water that you could use for first aid or whatever. And that's a really good thing to have. You can have a case of just water sitting on your shelf, and as long as that's lid stays sealed and whatnot, that water will be good for ever, unless something leaks into it or something like that. Oh yeah, because you got to think of like if you're canning meat, that's probably, I forget what the temperature is, but um, that's at that temperature for an hour and a half. So anything that was living in that water, it won't be living after that. Yeah, even well water has stuff in there that um, that would be bad to get in your skin or something at some point. that you wouldn't want to cause an infection or something like that. That's where that distilled or filter or purified water comes in handy. But let's all head over to, let me go ahead and post a link again. The Vineyard Chicks. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me tonight, and we'll send you guys over to their channel. I'm sure it's going to be a great live that they're doing, and like I said, it's giveaway stuff, so you don't want to miss out on giveaways. Plus, you get to listen to them sing and good Christmas music and stuff like that. And I want to thank my mods for keeping the riffraff out. And let me go ahead and, which I have to update this because, yeah, I'm a little bit behind on my getting my members on the board here. So we will catch you on the next one. Bye bye.